This episode of Tita Salita features guest comedians whose views, language, and humor do not reflect the values or perspectives of the Tita Salita hosts or production team. Some discussions include profanity, sexual innuendo, and potentially triggering content. Please use discretion before viewing or listening.
What's good, everybody? You got Jada.
You got Kai.
And I'm Camille.
And we are calling all Boss Babaes and Creative Kabayan.
We have a special kind of break today, so come on in.
But I'm not going to tell you what it is until you take a moment to like, subscribe, follow, share, maybe make a little comment. You know, I don't think I'm asking for too much because your fingers are right there. Did you do it yet? Did you do it? Okay, now we can tell you.
All right. Okay, but we're going to take a pause. Before we get into that, we're going to do our Filipino phrase of the week. Yes?
That's right.
Which is?
Shoot.
It's very fitting, and shout out our new intern, Leah. She's the one that chose it for us because we all felt this to our soul when we heard it. Does somebody want to say it?
Camille?
Okay. Ang daming ganap.
Daming ganap.
Which means so much is happening.
Literally.
It's giving chaos.
Ang daming ganap.
Life is lifing.
It's giving accurate.
Ang daming ganap.
Ang daming ganap. All together now.
Ang daming ganap.
Oh my God.
Ay, por vida.
I
love
so.
it. This
Yes,
is a good,
that was a good
banging
one.
table, actually. Sorry. It's a good Domino's table.
Oh gosh, there we go.
It's a good mahjong table.
That's so good. Ang daming ganap.
Daming ganap.
Daming ganap. I only learned ganap today.
Yeah, I
I've
didn't know
never-
that one before. That's a new one to add to the repertoire.
I've never heard it ever.
Please DM us with you saying that because I would love to hear everyone's accent developing.
Yes.
Because I think if this
How are
was
you doing
like,
at home?
right? Like if this was week 1, I feel like I would have been like, ang daming ganap or something like that. You know what I mean?
You have
No, your accent?
My tongue is just
You getting there,
tongue
girl.
is tonguing.
ang
Yeah.
Pause.
daming ganap.
Pause, but yes.
Daming ganap.
And on that note,
On that
what do
note.
we have going on today?
Okay, guys, do you remember? I can't believe it's already been a year, but do you remember going to Joklang last year?
My abs still hurt.
That was such a big core memory for
It was huge.
2024.
And may I remind you, me and Liz were not supposed to go. Yes. And in true Liz fashion, she did pull her magic, got us out, and the way we hopped into the car and beelined for this show, we even got caught at like a GO train. It was like, oh my God, like we were trying to just get to this
Shout
damn
out,
show.
Liz.
But hey, shout out Scarborough's a Joke. They're coming back with Volume 2.
Wow.
And it's being headlined by Keith Pedro. It's being hosted by Ernie Vicente. Lineup goes crazy. We got Celeste Lampa, Wilfred Padua, music by Jekka. I'm gonna put the request in. If somebody starts line dancing, I'm gonna jump in. All right, and then shout out also Jerome, good friend to Tita Salita. He's
Yes.
responsible for the cover art. But it goes down Saturday, January 21st at Rama
21st,
Gaming House.
yep.
June, what did I say?
January, I don't know.
I don't know why.
Said that.
fine.
All right, June 21st at Rama Gaming House. Show starts at 8 o'clock. Tickets are from $35 to $45. If y'all roll through, you're gonna see the Titas there. It's a good ass time.
Parking
make
is
sure-
free.
Parking is free.
Bonus.
I cannot
We love that.
emphasize this enough.
You know
Parking
this.
is
Love
free.
that.
You know, if you're in Scarborough, it's free.
And there's ample parking because we're in Scarborough and there's space here. So come and bring your friends. Bring your friends.
There you go. And I mean, it's June, so in Toronto, here in Canada, it's Filipino Heritage Month. What better way to celebrate but through jokes, joy, and community? And actually, I forgot to mention, proceeds from the tickets are going to victims of Lapu Lapu. So,
yes.
all for a good reason. Oh, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
when I
Yes.
said that. Yeah.
I
But
just
yes.
want to say,
There
'cause,
will
like,
be ulam.
last year, there was that pute guy who ate the balut on stage
Yes.
and became
Oh,
an
yeah.
honorary Filipino because we had, our boy Justin handing out
Yep.
Shout out Justin
balut
Upgrade.
to the audience, and he was the only one who stepped up. And
Shout out you,
right?
Pute guy.
Honestly, I didn't catch his name, Pute guy.
Yeah.
Shout out you.
You still remember that?
I took to balut under the pretense that we were going to eat it.
Oh.
We
ate
last minute chickened out And then I gave
No
it to
pun
I
intended.
gave it to my little. Oh no! I gave it to my Lola neighbors, and she was so happy.
Nice.
She was like, "Where'd you get this?" I was like, "From the comedy show,
You just made her day. There
from
we
Joke
go.
Lounge, 2024."
But today's special episode, as you guys know, if you're tapping in to Tita Salita, we always keep it real with you. We always keep it Scarborough. But today, we're going to have special out-of-town guests to join us. Not singular, plural. Guests. So today we have
Very
Ernie Redublo.
Filipino, by the way.
Very. We got Ernie Redublo, Carolina Gonzaga, Ernie Vicente, and Keith Pedro.
Wow.
So super excited to have them. We got an audience. What? We got crowd today. Let's give it up. Let's give it up to y'all. So happy.
So
Now,
good.
speaking of Filipino functions, I want you guys to complete the sentence. You know you're at a Filipino event when
You see a relative?
you see a relative.
When there's food,
Food, that's a must.
That's no joke.
Music for sure. Karaoke if you with
lots
it.
of laughing.
100%.
And by laughing, I mean heckling laughing.
And
like,
it doesn't have to be a comedy show for you to hear the laughter.
No,
Like it could
we're
be
talking-
any event.
Yes.
And then there's laughter.
you know, the boisterous, passionate laugh.
Almost like
Yes.
the phlegmy.
Yes, yes,
Like
yes,
it's
yes,
very
yes, yes.
throaty.
Cackle. I cackle.
I think it echoes. I think it travels.
Yes. All the shoes by the doorway.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And that like one mucklet kid that's like just like doing laps.
Oh,
like,
and the
running
sweaty
around.
with the sweaty hair.
And then you have to put paper towel on their back.
Yeah.
Oh man. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Well, today this episode is gonna be so much fun. We're so happy that you're here. So tune in, lock in. We're gonna take a break and we'll be right back after this. And welcome back to Tita Salita. With us, we have Aaron and Carolina.
Woo! Thank you for having us.
We're so excited to have you guys here. So we're just gonna jump right into
Yeah.
it. We're gonna go back to the beginning. Tell us a bit about your upbringing and where'd you grow up and what was your home life like?
Me start? Sure, yeah, okay.
Younger first.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Nice.
Oh, okay. A lot of pressure. All right, I was born in Toronto. I grew up at Yonge and St. Clair.
Nice.
Yeah, I lived there until like 2005. I was like 11, grade 5. Lived with my mom and my Lola. But I called my Lola, we didn't call her Lola, I called her Mom. So my mom was Mommy. Yeah. And it's
What
still
a cute tiering system.
so everyone knows
Here
like
for
Lola.
it. Here for it.
Yeah, my dad's mom is Lola, but my mom's mom is Mom. Yeah, and lived there, and then we moved out to Mississauga 2005, and moved twice there, but have been living there since. And
Nice.
yeah.
Shout out Saga.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the ends.
Thank you. Yeah, my dad actually was always in the East End. So my family originally when they came to Canada, at least my dad's side, they grew up in Scarborough in the 80s. And my dad
Okay.
stayed in the East End, so he's in Pickering now. So I'm like back and forth, like opposite ends, like every other
Nice.
weekend.
Traffic's
Dual
great.
citizenship.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So
Awesome.
I have a little bit of the East End, West End, you know.
There you
There are a lot
go.
of
Yeah.
Filipinos at Yonge and St. Clair?
No, it was all like upper middle class, like white people.
I thought so, yeah.
The only other, this
All
other
of
guy.
us Filipinos.
Yeah.
sad.
No, there was
St.
one.
Clair.
There was one kid, Kevin. That was my year. He came like a little later.
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, and he. It's just his mom was like a. I think his mom was like a nanny or something.
I was gonna
Oh,
say.
okay.
That's the only way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, you know, it's like I was like, okay,
didn't
I'm not
say.
surprised. Yeah. But
Shout out to you and Kevin holding it down.
Yeah, right?
For representation at Yonge and
Yeah.
St. Clair.
In the West.
Yeah, Kevin. Shout out, Kevin. I know you're out there, Kevin, somewhere. You're somewhere. I think, do we have each other on, we have at least each other on Facebook. I don't know about Instagram. Yeah, Kevin, hey. Yeah. Hit me up or something. Yeah. Come to a
Nice.
show.
Preferably next week.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Carolina?
Okay. Oh, mine's gonna be a little more trauma-y. Yes.
Yeah.
I served trauma.
We love trauma.
So I actually was born in British Columbia. My mom
nice.
hated the rain.
I get it.
I can't stand the rain. So
Big
we
trash.
moved here. And I grew up in Oshawa. And we had family in Toronto, but my parents, well, to be honest, they picked Oshawa because they didn't want me to grow up around only Filipino people.
Oh,
In Oslo?
Shade, yeah.
What? Okay.
But then I lived in the States for a bit, and then I moved to Toronto as soon as I could. My parents paid for my place, but yeah, when I was like 19. And I've lived here ever since, West End mostly. And then when my husband and I had our kid, our place that I had there was too small, so we moved to Scarborough, y'all. Yeah,
Bop, bop, bop.
but I grew up in such a great, loving family, and I probably wouldn't have said that when I was young, but my parents are the best. If you see us, we're together every day. A very loving family. My parents were very focused on me and my brother. They did everything for us, sent us to private school. It was all about music lessons. But they've empowered me now to live a very different life. Well, right now they're taking care of my kid. So, and I just have all of the hobbies. But yeah, I came from a great family, very religious. If you know Big Norm, shout out Big Norm.
What up, Norm?
What up,
We grew up in the
Norm?
same cult and went to the same private
church?
Christian school. Yeah.
You guys are
And that's why I,
That private school he told us about?
yes. And that's why I turned out like this. So, but my parents were never really that strict. And now I'm like, I won't even tell you the sinful acts that I do each day, but I live
Please
a
tell
very
us.
different life now. But yeah, so very Filipino family though, very loving, and now I'm here in Scarborough.
Amazing. That's amazing. It's great to hear about your upbringing. My next question to that is then, while growing up, like at what point in your life did you realize I'm funny? Like I can get paid for this? Like what were those moments in your career?
For me, when I was like in grade 1 or 2, I remember I would like do like voices and stuff. I would do like an old man voice where it's like back in my day or whatever it was. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, yeah, back in my day. Yeah. But yeah, I just remember that getting a laugh. And then the biggest thing in terms of like performing on stage and getting like a laugh, like that I'll never forget, was in 3rd grade. I was in Macbeth.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
3rd grade.
3rd grade.
Yeah, there's like a kid version, but they're still killing in it. We had swords. Yeah. But
Young and St. Clair.
yeah. I don't want to. Yeah, it's all.
I know that explains
White people
it.
schools, Yeah. But good funding. Yeah.
Clearly.
Literally.
But yeah, I was. If you know Macbeth, spoiler alert. I was Macduff, the guy that. Spoiler alert again, kills Macbeth. I was the guy that kills him. So there was this big fight.
Grade 3, guys. Grade 3.
Yeah, 3rd grade. So me and like my friend Peter, it's like this big burly guy that had like, those medieval times like wooden axes. He had like one of those wooden ones from medieval times. And I had this, like my dad had bought me some like dollar store thing that was like plastic, and it was like the hilt was screwed onto the blade, and we had to fight right on stage, and so like all the parents are there, and we were like going back and forth. But he's like a big guy, right? And he had that axe, and it like when we collided once, the sword like kind of went on the side, and there was like a beat of me just like. But then I held the blade and continued like this, and I got this huge laugh from like, and it was like a cheer. I was like, oh my god.
It just gave you that feeling, like, whoa.
This is what it's like, off like an improv thing. But I was like, that's like my earliest memory of like, just like thinking on my feet.
Like that core memory
Yeah.
and getting that
Yeah,
response. That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Wow, I don't have a memory like that. I feel like I didn't feel funny growing up at all. But I have a very like book smart brother, and like I have to mention my grandfather was a doctor. And we owned a hospital in the Philippines.
Yeah. Nice.
And so growing up, everyone was focused on my brother. He was gonna be like, my grandfather's name was Rosendo O. Diegan, and my brother's name is Rod. So I had a lot of love, but it was always like, you're a good girl, like we love your personality, but the focus wasn't on me. So I think it was really trying to get attention.
Yeah.
But then later in life, not later in life, but probably close to the end of high school, university is when I started to realize like, if I'm funny, then I can find a place. So
Nice.
I think I've probably always been funny, but no, like to be honest, I kill myself. But I was probably more like being funny with my friends, not like performing. But once I got, thank you, I paid that person to come. Thank you. But yeah, now I'm super funny. So fuck everyone.
That's the energy you need. I love
Yes.
that. So I guess like growing up, did you guys have any, I guess, like, did you see people like you in comedy growing up?
Yeah, I think my earliest inspirations, like just watching stuff as like a really young kid, like I think like Jim Carrey was like a huge influence.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
So
my
quotable.
mom. Yeah, my mom took me back when the Eaton Center. I don't know if you remember when there was a theater in Eaton Center where H&M is now. It used to be a
What?
theater there.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Yeah. So my
Wow.
mom took me to the theater that used to be there. This is like years ago, and she took me to see The Grinch when I was like 7, and I was just like enamored with him. You know, like just know you could see him underneath all that. You know, the
Yes,
expression,
yeah.
like, and even like you see those videos of him doing the crazy faces.
Yeah.
And I always naturally had more of like a high energy, and I was like goofy and I do voices and stuff, and
Yeah.
that was probably the earliest thing before I was even aware of it, because I had to learn this over time about myself. That was probably one of my early like inspirations for sure. And then like guys like like Robin Williams and Mike Myers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then even like early, I used to watch like the old like Simpsons and stuff like that, SpongeBob, all that stuff.
You're making
yeah.
me feel so fucking old.
I was gonna say, you can tell people how old people are depending on
were
what
7,
movies and
right?
TV
Yeah.
shows they'll
Yeah, I'm
reference.
31, so yeah.
Okay,
As soon as he said the Jim
Jim Carrey,
Carrey
I
is
said
Grinch, I
Grinch.
was like,
I said,
You were
hello,
7.
Ace
I was gonna say, like,
Ventura.
Yeah.
liar,
No,
liar.
yeah.
I was like Dumb and Dumber, the
In
mask.
living
Yeah.
color, hello.
I'm technically a millennial, okay? I'm
Okay, I
technically a
am too.
millennial.
On the
I
cusp.
did.
I had
Yeah.
to redo the mask.
I'm dead. You redeemed yourself.
I'm
with,
like the
Mike
late
Myers.
end millennial.
Yes, yes. You're in the club though.
Yeah.
Well, we still accept you.
Thank you for saying what we were all thinking.
Yeah. No, I'm 42, guys. Asian don't
Hey,
raisin.
42 where? Yeah.
42 where?
I feel like it's funny because I grew up with Jim Carrey on In Living Color, and I remember my dad was really who I decided was funny because whoever made him laugh, and he actually said, "That guy, he's going places," and he was friggin' right. And I always, my dad says, "I told you," and we really did watch In Living Color together. But for sure, yeah, no, I didn't see anyone that represented me for sure. But Margaret Cho changed my life.
Oh,
Me and my
Margaret Cho.
gay best friend, who was out of the closet at like age 12, would watch her about, she had a joke about a lesbian cruise and how there was horses racing called No Dick for Me. And I just love that. And then all of her impressions of her parents, really like, my mom called and said, shampoo, the saying, shampoo, rinse, repeat. But they say to shampoo twice, right? And she goes, white people only do that. No, Korean don't do that. We only shampoo once. And I just thought, yeah, this idea of impersonating your parents. In fact, my 5-year-old just started impersonating my parents.
Nice.
And she says, do you want me to do my impression of Lulu? I go ahead. And she goes, careful. And her impression of my mom is, stop it, Google. Stop it. And so I can see it happening in her.
Love that.
Of like
To see that.
little, yeah. But anyway, all of the names that you mentioned, different stages though. But for sure,
Yeah, their careers were done when I was watching. They're
will
at the
say
end
this.
already.
Someone who comes to mind, I don't know if anyone else remembers this too. To me, the first Filipino that I saw in comedy was Rex Navarrete.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember it was like me and my family coming together watching this blurry ass VHS. And we're like, Santo Niño, like he's saying stuff that only we would get or that we'd
Yeah.
understand. So I think it's also amazing to see that now we're in a day and age, we got a full Filipino lineup.
everywhere.
You know what I mean? Full show going on. So I think that's just beautiful. I just wanted to point that out.
Beautiful.
Let's see. So, okay, growing up, we remember your moment where you're like, okay, oh yeah, I'm kind of funny. What made you decide to try stand-up? Like, did someone prompt you?
Yeah,
Did you say, I'm just
so-
going to do it?
So the funny thing is, my mom kept, I don't know if this was mentioned to you guys, but Ron Jossel's my uncle.
I knew that.
I'm not gonna lie, I knew it. I was waiting for it to get dropped.
The thing is, she told me like since I was a kid, and I'd met him like a few times. We weren't like close because he was already doing the road and stuff, so he wasn't really around a lot. Like I saw him a few times as a kid, but he barely even remembered me. But like.
Okay.
So the thing
Are you listening, Ron?
all that to say, I she kept telling me to like reach out to him, and I kept like I didn't want to. For some reason, I didn't want to do stand up.
Too hiya.
No, not even that. No, not even that.
Okay.
Like I thought I wanted to, and still kind of pursuing acting. I wanted to be an actor, And I feel like, long story short, like I started doing like a YouTube channel in 2018. And so the writing and performing aspect, I would do like skits
Nice.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it went a little bit viral on YouTube and TikTok. And then I think the natural next progression, like I was kind of like, I think after COVID, because I only started like almost 3 years ago now. So COVID had already happened. And I was kind of getting a little bit of an itch to like try it. And then I just got up once and then I fell in love with it. And when I knew that, obviously knew that Ron was a comic, but I didn't want to like tell him because I didn't know him that well, right? So I didn't want to be like, oh, hey, uncle, remember me? Put me on.
I would have done that, but
I didn't even. So here's the thing.
I love that he turned into a Lolo.
Right?
Yeah, but
Is he older?
yeah, no, I ended up like I was doing it for a few months, and then basically, and it's kind of the way I wanted it to happen, but because I didn't reach out to him, but word had like kind of gotten back to him from, I'll name drop another Filipino comic, Ryan McGlenub. I was hanging out with him, and it kind of came up because his name had been dropped, and then I just mentioned it, and he's like, oh yeah, you should hit him up. He's been. I realized after how many comics he's helped out, like over the years, like so many comics, and he said, yeah, he's like helped me out so much, and one day, I think because they were staying together at the time. This is just a few years ago. He ended up reaching out he DM'd me, Ron, saying like, "Oh hey nephew, I heard you were
so nice.
I heard you were doing stand up. That's so exciting. Let me know and I'll put you on one of my shows whenever you're ready."
Wow.
Thanks, Kuya.
Yeah, and
Look
then
at that.
yeah, no, and it's amazing. Shout out Tita
Ron.
Ron.
I don't call
Shout out,
him Kuya,
Ron.
but
Yeah.
Shout out
watch
Tita
our,
Ron.
Watch our episode with Ron because he drops bare Toronto history gems
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
throwback stories. It's
So here's the
good.
thing. I don't know if he would have mentioned this is crazy, but he's my mom's younger brother, right?
Mom's younger brother,
And
okay.
he, like, my parents at the time were like the big like party couple, and he would tag along with them
Oh, nice.
in like I think in the 80s when he was like a teenager, and he would like. Like they would like bring him into like these warehouse parties and stuff
Nice.
when he was like a kid.
and give him drugs.
Yeah. So
Ecstasy.
now he's returning the favor to the next gen.
Now he's gonna bring you around to the party.
Awesome.
And
It's cool to also know like you started on YouTube and then it's just like that progression of that journey and then
Yeah.
you're like, you know what, let me try this
Yeah.
live stand-up, situation.
And I fell in love with it, and it's like it's one thing to get like the viral thing online is like feels so good, but like killing on stage and just people laughing is just like that immediate feedback is just
Yeah.
And that's a
you know.
great first time. I know there's some comedians that's not necessarily always the case with their first time on stage, right? So
Yeah. Well, my actual first time wasn't great, to be honest. Like I no. So I had already done I already had done stand up for a bit by the time I like saw
Gotcha.
Ron. But yeah, when I first started, it was like this kind of like overly scripted, kind of thing where.
Of course.
Yeah, I was
Well,
like.
now you can
I
dissect it
rehearsed-
too, right?
Yeah,
Looking back,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't even like respond to the crowd. It was more just like talking at them,
Yeah, like, just
So the
get through
first
this.
2-ish months was kind of like that, and then.
2-ish months is not bad.
yeah.
Yeah, I was that for a few years, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take a pause right here. We'll be right back after this.
so I know you said 2.5 months was good. Tell me about you.
Yeah. So I started dating a DJ, don't clap, who I am now married to. And by the way, at the time his name was Mark Penner. He changed his last name to my last name.
Okay.
As my dad said,
So progressive.
Filipino world domination. Yeah, we're taking over. But honestly, I used to drunkenly follow him around his gigs and like yell at women that left requests. And he was like, get a fucking hobby. So I got a hobby. He bought me stand-up classes, which at Second City, they teach you how to do your first 5 minutes.
Oh, what a nice gift.
And yeah, also it was selfish.
Keep
but
her
now-
busy.
Got
Keep
rid
her
of me,
busy.
yes.
But now you couldn't pay me to go to one of his gigs. Like, no thank you.
I'm dead.
Yeah. So now I have my own life. But I started producing my first show after my very first gig. I probably too soon to produce and host, but it really was a way to get people to book me. So I got booked right away. Also, people needed people of color at the time. There wasn't as many of us. So I got busy right away. But my comedy also evolved into other things. So many years working in retirement living, Filipino, And during COVID, I started using comedy for business development. So I started doing comedy shows for all the hospitals in the
amazing.
GTA as business development. And then I started to meld both together. So I do tons of corporate comedy now. I produce shows for like Great Westlife.
Nice.
And so it's become this big part of my life, and it's a part of my day-to-day. It's everything. Like, I produce conferences. Comedy is a part of everything. So it started because my husband wanted me to leave him alone and stop harassing young, pretty women. And now I've kind of made a career out of it-ish. So,
When
yeah.
turning
So the joke's on you, okay?
But may I say this just because we were talking about Jim Carrey? Did
Yeah.
you guys know that Jim Carrey's last wife's last name was Gonzaga? Thank you. And then they got a divorce. So if you're looking for a new Gonzaga, I'm ready to get a divorce and
Willing to take all the
be
checks.
with you, Jim.
Yeah.
the art of the pivot, guys. The art of the pivot.
FYI.
So tell me more about your process when you guys are writing. Like, what do you pull inspiration from? Do you ever pull from your Filipino culture, or do you have a different kind of like process?
Yeah, I think in terms of the Filipino angle that I use in my stand-up is like pretty much like my angle, which is just that I'm kind of second generation born here.
Yeah.
And my parents never taught me Tagalog, you know?
Yeah.
Just so they could, you know, talk
Yep.
shit about me. In front of me, you know? Pretty much.
But you understand.
Yeah,
I know.
barely. Like, only when you hear your name, you know? You'll hear your name in there, you know it's about you. But, yeah, that, and then all kinds of, like, you know, family stories. I'll, like, whenever I get, like, an idea, like, if I think that, sometimes you don't always get the joke right away, but, you know, there's, like, something there, I'll
Yeah.
just jot it down. I have, like, a notebook I keep on me all the
Oh,
time.
nice. Yeah.
And I'll always just, just write out notes in my notebook. Yeah.
And
then
you like
try it
test
out
it
on
out,
stage.
right? And
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
See what
And then,
sticks.
yeah, I find that I try not to I feel like if I write too much
Mm-hmm.
before I get up, like I sometimes get in my head because it's like, oh, I have to say this.
Yeah.
It's best when I just put like the most point form, like the basic idea of what I
Yeah.
want to say, and then I just like
just run
go
with
up
it,
and
yeah.
do it.
What's
But
what's your favorite thing to talk about though? Like I know there's one thing to have inspiration, but is there something that you just, whether it gets a laugh?
it's
or
weird because
not-
it's not my favorite thing, but it's just I weirdly just keep going to it. Was just
Is
like
it your dick?
that and my butt. Yeah, that and my butt. It's like one of those things, I didn't even mean to make the joke about that, but it's like weirdly like, why do I keep subconsciously talking about my butt and my dick? Yeah. But no, I like talking like just stuff in my life. Like I work at the gym, like I work at Good Life.
Oh, nice.
And
Look at that.
Look at that.
yeah,
Good
They
life
both
alarm.
used to
Yeah.
Alum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I was an FA, and I was
Oh, okay.
also
I'm a
What's
motivator.
FA?
You're a
What's that?
motivator?
That's
Oh,
sales.
good.
sales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm at the front desk, which is a bit of everything.
I was
so,
that before.
Yeah. So I was at the same one in Mississauga.
Then we have GM over here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you're a GM?
nice.
I'm in head
Nice.
office, but
Humble
it's not about me. Not about
Okay.
me.
That's also where we met. Fun
Really?
fact.
Used to be
Yeah.
her boss.
No
Yeah,
way.
she
I
was my
have to
boss.
ask, what's the friends and family discount? No, I'm kidding.
It used to be free. It used to be free. I don't know what it is now.
It's still free, but there used to be the one where you get 2 discounted ones
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Now it's just the one free.
Oh,
Yeah.
The economy.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah. I feel like I'm still employed there, so I can't say too much bad stuff.
Hey, don't go too far
No,
now.
my boss
yeah.
is super chill though. Like my GM, she knows my like. They would let me do 5-minute sets like at our club summits, and like do
nice.
whatever,
Yeah.
and like all kinds of dirty stuff. And she knowing that, so even knowing that, I would do that
That's
at the
what made
monthly
her
summit.
cool.
Yeah, and then one day we were doing this fundraiser for like Move for Kids, which is like a annual thing,
Yeah.
and she suggested putting on a show. And I had done it now like twice annually, and we had like both times like 50 to 70 people come out.
Oh,
So
awesome.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. But so in that sense, it's a super chill job. But I do draw a lot of experience from, since I'm there like almost every day.
I'm sure the people- yeah,
so
there's
many crazy
people
stories.
watching
Just,
too, or
just being in a
characters, yeah.
gym, yeah, just so many stories from that. So I'd say right now, that's
We
a lot
already
of.
know what you're saying.
It's the best.
Oh yeah.
We understand.
Yeah, you get it. But yeah, a lot of stories from that. Just like I just try to draw on whatever just happens to me. Even when I was doing the YouTube channel, I would write down ideas I was a cashier at Metro before when I first started that channel.
Before they replaced you with a robot.
Pretty much, yeah. Actually, they added the self-checkout after. It's in the same plaza. But there's still cashiers, but I feel bad because even I go to the self-checkout now, and I'm like, I used to be you guys. But,
I'm almost like, do you know what Dominion
I'm
is?
part of the problem, yeah. But I would so if I had a funny or weird customer interaction or something, I would run the receipt paper, rip it, and just write notes on it. And I'd have a stack of that and just bring it home before I had a notebook. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, for me, I talk about myself the entire time. Yeah.
Great start. Yeah.
One thing I'll say, something that I'll say about, and I came up in comedy, I've been in almost 9 years now. So I would say when I started, it was all gross. I was talking about my sex life to excess, and I had a very different sex life at the time. And that's often the first thing that comes out. When you drain a sink, it's all the shit that comes out. And I don't have any disrespect for that, but then I started to be a little bit more secure and not needing that. So I talked a lot at the beginning about my career in healthcare. You see a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my parents. And in fact, I started doing a lot of accents of my parents, and then I stopped thinking that everyone did them. It was comics like Ron Josal who said, you got to do it because you do it different.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is about my parents and my family, about my marriage. A lot of it's about my kid. I have a joke about how I woke up, and it's all true, but exaggerated sometimes.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I have a joke about how I did during the pandemic wake up to her stuffing my vibrator in my ear, the womanizer. She thought it was a thermometer.
Not the name.
So she was stuffing this womanizer in my ear, and I woke up, and then my husband was in the corner taking pictures with his fancy camera. And I was like, what is going on? And she was like, Mommy's sick. And it was vibrating. And I was like, oh, it looks like a thermometer because it sucks your clit. So anyway, these things happen, and then they're just there, and then I just talk about them. Or the fact that I am, my passion is stealing from the self-checkout. I try to steal at least $30 every time I walk in.
What is happening
Just
right
before
now?
I came, I stole, for
She's
me.
just kidding, police. She's just kidding.
Face masks, guys, are BOGO
joking.
in the very least. It's 2 for 1 face masks. I love to steal green onions. Nobody should be paying for those. So it's all confessional.
They're so easy to grow.
Yeah, they really are.
If you pay for green onions, please. But it's all about my life, and then it's so cathartic because when I started, a lot of, and even today, a lot of female comics talk about the same things until they're ready to start being vulnerable. And then they can talk about all of the good and the bad. And so I never, by the way, write my jokes down ever. I usually
You have a good memory.
I do. I remember
Not
everything,
me.
especially if you've slighted me. I'll never forget. I'll never
has a
forget.
list.
I'll never forget. But I often talk out loud while I'm driving, and that's how I get through traffic. So I'll talk out loud when I'm driving, and I'll kind of refine that way.
Nice.
But it usually starts when I'm high as F and then say something, and then something will come up, and then I'll start to riff on it when I'm in the car in traffic, which is usually many hours a day.
It's organic.
I love that. What a difference. This guy's I'm writing notes. This girl's I'm talking to myself.
It's so interesting that you said that female comics talk about the same thing until they're ready to become vulnerable. Would you say that talking about your sex life is not as vulnerable as talking about your real life?
No, because I still talk about my sex life, which right now is my lack of. I'm lonely. But
Okay.
I think there's a
And the crowd's
different. Some of you look excited. I don't think so, but I think there's something about, and maybe I'm biased. I think there's a part of it that's biased because I see a lot of clean girl comedy. So, which is not to say they're clean, but it's it's the same things over and over. So some things are so universal that it's okay, but there has to be a uniqueness to that that thing that's relatable.
Right.
And so sometimes it's I'm a cute girl and I'm dating and also, honestly, I'm a Filipino woman. My whole experience is so different from a lot of those stories. So I think when I say I talk about myself, it's because my experience is very unique. I'm a Filipino woman married to a large Mennonite man who took my last name. That's crazy. My daughter calls my parents Lulu and Lula. She calls my dad's dad my dad's dad. The straight of it all. This stuff doesn't make it. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah,
So,
actually.
yeah.
And why not pull from it, right?
Yeah, and I just want to say too that I never was as proud of being Filipino as doing comedy.
Wow.
Plug to
Oh,
my
I
show.
love
I have my
that.
own Filipino show on June 28th at the Piston, but
Hey, don't miss that. There you
growing
go.
up Oshawa,
miss that.
my parents were cooking bulad on a outside frying pan.
Nice.
And I was they're like, who killed someone? And I'm like, it's not my family. We eat macaroni and cheese, like really hating myself, like really feeling an Oshawa. And even in private school, Seventh-day Adventist, it's mostly like black folks and like white folks. And then where do I fit in? At least it was then. And so what comedy's done is it's connected me to a community that like embraces me, books me, and loves what I have to say. So I have to say I've never bombed, maybe it's just my opinion, in front of a Filipino crowd because they hear it and they know that it's true and they know that it's genuine. So yeah. Love you
Love that.
guys.
I love that.
You could do a TED Talk. That was really good.
Thank you.
awesome.
All right, to end off our segment, we, of course, in true Tita Salita fashion, we always resort to this topic, but what is your go-to Filipino dish?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Favorite, top
Okay.
of top?
bangos.
Really?
Wow, I wasn't expecting
yeah.
that.
Here.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Nice.
expecting that.
Yeah, my brother like eats the eyes too and stuff, you know.
Oh, see, I haven't
Young
gone
But
to the
I eat this. I
island.
do like
I
this.
know. I was
depending
expecting
on the
adobo.
mood.
Right? Like
No,
just
depending
something.
on the mood. Depending on the mood, I'll eat the skin. Like sometimes I eat the skin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the edges at least, like really crispy because it's not as crispy in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the fat, obviously, I love like the fat.
Oh, I love some
Nice.
tabas, yeah.
But yeah, I always feel like crap after it, but you know, so good. It's
So worth it.
That's
It's worth
Filipino
it.
food.
Yeah.
Mine is definitely arroscaldo. I will pay $25 to Uber Eats it to my door. So that's like the
Oh,
it's basically like a
with
Filipino
like the garlic on top,
congee,
right?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I will say one of my parents' favorite memories of me is I used to put what do you call like the fried fish like that you eat as chips?
yeah.
Tuyo.
Tuyo.
Toyo. I used to put them in my
Dili?
pocket and think that nobody knew that
Oh
it was
my
there.
gosh.
Girl.
How dare
Are
you?
you serious?
And then I'm blaming my parents, and it's like you have dried fish in your fucking pocket.
Everyone's like, what's that smell? This girl's like
Yeah.
eating it on the side.
That's crazy.
That's my parents' favorite story.
Nobody's gonna
So
know.
good.
It's my little secret. Damn, girl.
so good.
Nobody's gonna know.
Oh my God, that's so good.
That was good.
We're gonna keep the jokes on rolling. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll be here with Ernie and Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We are switching gears, and now we have Mr. Ernie Vicente and Keith Pedro in the building. What's up?
Hey, yeah.
What's up?
up?
Thank
Thanks
you
for having
so
us.
much. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for enduring all that Toronto traffic to be here with us today.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
terrible.
lot.
This is like rush hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all of Toronto traffic.
Yeah, it's
for
the
you.
whole
Honestly.
city.
There's the whole day. It's just like that.
Good
So
times.
we're just going to jump into things here because we're so eager to know more about you. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Where are you from? What part of Toronto did you grow up from?
Go ahead, Vicente.
Take it away.
I studied the wrong questions. So
You're getting real time freestyle answer right now.
Pivot.
the whole time in the car, he's like looking at the questions, like amateur. I did my homework yesterday at Starbucks.
Why you snitching, bro? This guy.
And now,
That's how you know he's
And now
from.
we gave you a different question.
He's from
About
Peel region.
yourself.
No, I was born. Oh, sorry. What was the question?
Whatever you want to say about your upbringing and what part of Toronto are you from?
Oh yeah. My proudest moment on stage was absolute comedy. It was September, Just for Laughs, Toronto. It was a great time.
So my upbringing, definitely not PR trained. No. This guy's answering questions like Manny Pacquiao at the end of it. Manny, how'd you feel the fight? I think Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Like, bro, answer the question. Well, my upbringing, I'm a North York guy. I was born, I grew
North
up like
York.
Bathurst, Finch area,
Oh, those
Bathurst Steelers.
Filipinos.
Yeah,
Okay.
so everybody's like, oh, so everybody thinks I'm Scarborough. They're like, oh, you're
You
from
give
Scarborough.
Scarborough.
You give
That's the
Scarborough.
neck tattoo.
That vibe.
But no, I wasn't playing pool at what's the place
The
called?
Spot.
The Spot. Yeah, no, my place
Still
was
there.
called the Q up in Keel and Finch.
Very nice.
So yeah, I was a North York guy. I didn't have patty and cocoa bun. Mine was falafel.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was falafel, chicken schnitzel.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I
Nice.
was born. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Ernie.
Circling back.
Are you ready now?
Yeah. I got it. I got it here now.
Ernie's
My-
buffering. He's
Glitching.
he's bad bell network.
It's the deadpan. I can't.
My go-to Filipino dish. Siopao.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh my gosh, not ready for this.
All right.
All right. Well, knowing that both of you guys have a very stacked portfolio,
Going
I would
great.
love to know what is your proudest moment on stage thus far?
Proudest moment on stage. You know what? I wouldn't say there was a proud moment on stage. It's the proud moment off stage is the fact that I think it was the first time I got paid and I bought it to pay for formula and diapers. Because you know what I mean?
Look at Papa Bear.
Because you're like, I don't have to be a nurse now.
Yeah, look at you
You know what I
providing.
mean? Yeah, so there's every moment is a fun moment on stage, but the proud moments when you actually use this to provide for your family.
That's
So
beautiful.
that's Now here comes Ernie's corny answer.
He's like, how do I beat that one?
Can I get my hat? I need a fade. So
You look great.
You look great.
thank you. My my proudest moment on stage, circling back, is at Absolute Comedy. It was for Just for Laughs Toronto, and I got a standing ovation by 3 people. And
We'll take it.
yeah, they were actually going to the washroom, but
A win is a win.
but they waited for me to leave the stage. So
Round
wins a
of
win.
applause, everyone.
Wins a win.
win is a win.
He
Wins a
will
win.
get a standing ovation on
Yeah.
the 21st.
And then I
Yes.
had Siopao after the show.
Yes.
My favorite Filipino dish.
Which
right.
Siopao though? Do you like the one with the beef? Do you like the one with the meatball?
Chicken.
Nice.
Okay. What? Yeah, I've never heard anyone say chicken.
The driest of the all the
It is the
Siopao.
driest. Yeah, literally the driest
Weak
one.
answer.
Manok, really? Siopao and manok.
Ernie's really Cambodian. He's not even supposed to be on the show. We need someone to film it.
I needed the spots. That's why I'm on this Filipino show in Scarborough. Scarborough's a joke. I said I'm
Still
Filipino.
don't know where
Said
he's
I'm
from, by the way.
He's from Brampton, guys. That's why he's a
Brampton?
man. I'll answer for him.
Okay.
He's
Keep answering
from
for him.
Brampton.
Okay.
That's my upbringing.
Shout out
Brampton.
B-Town.
Okay.
Shoppers
is.
World.
All right, so through all the performances that you guys have done, is there anything that you guys have learned about yourself through performing?
This might sound weird, but I can't do this job sober. Does that make sense? Like, I need a little bit of a buzz. I need a little
Just a little bit of
a little bit of liquor. You know, a little bit of aggressive rap music. I remember the first time I had to do like a corporate. It was at a golf course. It was 12, and the bar wasn't open yet, and I panicked. And
Oh,
then
no.
I did the show, and I was sorry, unprofessional. Sorry, that's my probation offer. Yeah, I'm doing the community service hours now.
That was AA sponsor.
No, it was my sponsor. They were making sure I wasn't drinking. No, I
heard you.
need a
This is
little bit
live.
of a
This
buzz.
is live, right? You're watching.
Yeah, that's just me. I need a little bit of a buzz, and but yeah, but I'm not an addict.
Is it like nerves? Do you still get nervous? Like you think it's that?
I always get nervous.
Yeah.
I think when you get nervous, you care, right?
Yeah.
I think when you stop getting nervous, you stop caring.
There you
I feel
go.
that's a common thing. Like the nerves never go away.
No,
right?
nerves
Like, no matter how
you just
seasoned
learn
are.
how to deal with them more.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
before,
exactly.
like when I was starting, I was getting like really, really drunk because I was getting nervous. I'm like, and then now I was just like, now I know how much to take, but also I know how to do it sober. I'm not saying I can't do this job sober. I'm saying it's harder for me when I do
That's
it.
why I
sober.
drove today. Enjoy, buddy. It's actually 8 a.m. right now.
Yes, and this is not water. This is not.
That's why I do not sponsor this guy.
Yeah. So every time I go on stage now, I say, guys, I need a lighter, foil, and a teaspoon.
Didn't have it.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. That's a bad joke.
Say no to drugs, please.
Oh my god.
Right, your turn, Ernie.
I am also addicted to drugs. We're doing this show
Right? Like,
June 21st, and I said to my writer, give me all the drugs and barbecue Pringles.
Love barbecue
He means
Pringles.
Vicks. He means Vicks, guys.
Vicks, yes, and Fisherman's Friends. Yeah, I grew up in Brampton, the slums.
All right. Well, next question.
We're gonna edit this, right? We're gonna.
No. Production.
They're gonna edit me out. They're gonna go, Mom, watch me. Like, where? I'm beside Keith, the drunk guy.
Beside Keith.
Oh my God.
She's like, oh, you can't get the haircut? I didn't have time. I was babysitting my son. He's almost 1. He's turning 1 on Monday.
This
All
one
right,
out of left
happy
field.
birthday.
I'm a single father. It's no big deal.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
It's true.
I actually don't.
It's true. His name is Rumble. He's a Maltese Yorkie.
You give Yorkie dad
babies.
vibes for sure.
Our fur babies. What up, Rumble?
Thank you.
Shout out Rumble.
Well, what we got next?
I don't know. I'm
I don't
scared
know
to ask
anymore.
questions at this point.
Just don't even ask him. Just
So, Keith,
go.
So let's rewind a little bit. So if your younger self saw yourself being funny, being Filipino, being free, 2 things. 1, what do you think they would say? 2, what advice would you give them if they were starting a career out in comedy?
If I saw my younger self, I would tell him stop hanging out with those friends and those jokes that you have written, perform them.
There you
Because
go.
I waited too late. You know, because
yeah.
first of all, when I'm a millennial, right? So we didn't have Joe Coy yet and all these guys and her and Sweetie. Like there was no Filipinos on TV, so
Yep.
I was like, I had all these backup plans, going to school to do this, and I waited too long. But if I would have told my younger self, I'm like, yo, stop hanging out with these shit fuck friends. Stop hanging out in these garages and smoking weed. Go start pursuing your dream.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'll tell them. And then, yeah.
I like that.
I like that too.
I would. I'll tell my future self to get a haircut on June 11th
I cannot with Ernie right now.
when your son is asleep. Because now all I can see myself. I just watch myself. I'm like, oh.
This is not
Put a hat
a sample of what he's going to be like on stage. He's very high energy.
Yes,
He's
yeah.
very loud.
I'm the host,
Yes.
so I'm supposed to bring the energy. And it sucks because the producer is in the audience, and right now she's on the phone. She's changing the poster.
We need someone
Can
that
we
can
get this
answer
guy?
questions.
This is the guy?
He can't do crowd work. He's not even here. All right, what else you got for Dimples over here?
Well, I will say, actually, I saw your post recently on the Filipino Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Solid selection.
You like the selection?
The selections were really good. I don't know,
Okay.
Ernie, who would you have on your Mount Rushmore?
Keith.
Look at that. No hesitation.
Nice.
The first answer, that was right away. I like that.
Because he
Me.
owes me money.
I would be on it.
Yep, there
Okay.
we go.
Oh,
Just you two?
no, Ron Jossel, obviously,
Shout out.
and
Okay.
and Joe Coy.
Hey.
Who's on yours?
They just said they saw mine already, bro. No, I'm joking. No. In terms of all Filipinos, so I did Filipino men and I did Filipino. But
good
I'll
approach.
tell you right now, in my personal 4 Filipinos that I like in the media, that have been fun. Shout out to Pilo. Pilo's been killing it.
Oh, shout out Pilo. There
Pilo's
we go.
been killing it.
out the
Of
West
course,
Coast.
Dante Vasco.
Yep.
Rufio.
Rufio.
You know what? Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
You
Of
have
course.
to give it up for Manny.
Of course.
And I gotta go with the last one. I don't know that. If you notice, my trend was I'm only picking full-breds. Full-bred Filipinos because I feel like most Filipinos that are. No, you good. I'm just saying we need more. You know what I mean? We need more full-breds out here. I just feel like Filipinos were represented a lot in the media by a lot of half-breeds, which is cool and all. It's just, but that's like if the blacks were represented by like Blake Griffin and Mariah Carey, like that wouldn't be fair. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get.
You're trying to level it up.
Yeah, more level up the Filipino. Be more, Dela Cruz's in the buildings.
Dela Cruz's. There we go.
So no Bruno Mars.
No, Ernie. No, you're not paying attention.
All right, well, we're almost done this segment. Let's end it off on a fun note. What's your favorite Filipino dish?
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Let me
No,
guess.
it's chicken adobo.
Oh, there we go, chicken adobo. That's classic.
You literally just said the California roll of sushi. Like, you can tell this guy only fucks white women. But
Babe, no. Babe, he's drunk with it. My Indian queen.
I'm a big oxtail kare kare guy. That's my thing. That's
oxtail kare kare. That's a
you know
good
what I
one.
mean?
Pink
The
bagoong
pink.
or black bagoong?
Okay.
Pink.
I didn't even
Bagoong.
realize there was a dark bagoong.
The black bagoong is great too,
Yeah.
but
You gotta mix the two.
you gotta mix them both. The
Yeah,
pink's
yeah,
a little
yeah.
sweeter.
It's a good
But you
combo.
know,
What? Pink is salty.
or, yeah, whatever. Bitter, salty, sweeter. Listen,
Pink
my
is
tongue's not
salty.
the best. Don't put your hand down, sir. Put your hand down. This is not what we do.
All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, actually, your titas, we're gonna part ways. So this is where we say ingat, but we're gonna come back and have all 4 comedians on stage.
Ingat.
Bye.
All right, guys, we're back, and now it's the last segment. It's the Filipino Flash segment. So I got some serious questions, and hopefully you guys have some serious answers. So let's begin. All right. First, can anyone speak Tagalog?
No.
Whitewash losers. What about
Can you?
audience? Yeah. Listen, I'm Ilocano, guys. Don't talk about me.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, there you go. I understand too. The crazy thing was, I went to the Philippines and I understood like crazy. Has it ever happened to you when you go back to the Philippines and you're just like, whoa,
Yeah.
oh, you know?
No,
what
I
I
was,
mean?
I was there last year. They made fun of me, my own family.
Really?
Yeah.
So you understood them, Ernie.
I
So
only
you relate.
understand like the bad words. I
Well,
understand the bad words like tuba.
okay, so that's 0 for 4. All right. What did your family make you do at parties? Sing karaoke, take coats, or pass around the Tupperware?
Okay, so my family is like super musical, like piano, cello, so we had to do the performance. And then my dad would do karaoke. But then he would say, no, I couldn't do another one. And then he would just do it all night. Yeah. I could not.
Please,
it's too
please.
much.
I wasn't prepared.
I'm a crooner. Yeah.
What would you perform?
Piano.
Oh, you were that person?
Oh, I was top pianist in Ontario for 8 years. I do not know how to play anymore, but my daughter plays. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Aaron?
They actually didn't make me do anything. I wasn't. My one cousin though, he was the piano guy. I remember this one party that he had to. They like, do it, Mark. Not to name drop, but yeah, he had to do it. But then I think he messed up, and then he started crying. He's like, "Fuck this!" And then he walked away, and I was like, "Oh, God, luckily they don't make me do that."
Wow.
Yeah, but
That's a lot of pressure.
But karaoke sometimes. But I wasn't forced though, you know.
It was a first.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They would make me eat and then call me tuba.
Yeah. That's universal, Ernie. That's universal.
I mean, that's not a performance
Yeah.
unless there's ways you're eating.
And karaoke.
I didn't really get that, tell you the truth. There was my mom would actually make me. She was so proud of just me being funny, so she would, just say make fun of this person or say that funny thing you said.
That's
earlier.
great.
Oh, roast me,
Okay.
Keith, roast
Yeah, what
me.
was that funny thing you said again? I was like, I don't remember. So that was me. Okay, next one. Best Tita/Tito traits.
Like of our own or that we like of people?
Just reading the questions.
Okay.
That's all I have. Of your Tito and your Tita. Like, what is your best, what's your favorite thing about, your Titas and your Tito? Like, what?
I don't know. My Aunt always fat shames me. I don't like her. You guys know the aunts. She got this Christmas. I'm not even joking, lying. She walked in. She goes, "Oh," and I was like, "At least I'm fuckable." Literally.
Look at my nipples.
I'm not even joking. But you know what's so amazing? My husband was so hungover that he was like, "What you just did there, not cool. Don't you ever do that again to any of the girls. But he was like, oh, it's because I was hungover. I did so much blow last night. He's just like, but anyway, maybe you cut that out.
That's a TMI. That's a TMI. Yeah, that's in the special edition DVD special. What about you,
8
Aaron?
a.m.
What was the question again?
Best
Oh,
Tita traits.
or Tita, like, are we
The
just doing
best.
Tita first?
Best
Tita
Tita
thing?
slash Tito traits. Like best
Oh, it's like
uncle Ed.
the food thing. I go to my Tita's house and she just always had lots of food. My one cousin is like so picky, so there was always extra, and then like me and my other cousin are always starving, and then we just eat her food because there was no food in my house, but at my house, my mom didn't really cook Filipino food, so I had it more when I went to my Tita's house.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there, and my one picky cousin wouldn't eat any of it. He only eat just spam and rice. So
Okay.
I eat all the actual Filipino food there. Yeah.
My favorite trait, though, I'll be honest, is having like the younger titos and titas hang out with you. Do you know what I mean? Like I have
yeah.
a shout out to my tito Archie in Long Beach. Like he's he's like 12 years younger than my mom. So he calls her like manang and stuff. So he always like takes me out shooting guns and
Yeah.
gives me a bag of that good. You know what I mean? It's like, I know your mom doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So like there's always that young tito that's cool.
And the young female titos are like, or the titas are always like, how old do you think I am?
yeah, those are the best ones.
Which I realize is me. Literally, I'm like, no, gas.
No, also the best tita
I'm
trait.
42.
The best tita trait too is when you compliment one of your titas and they tell you exactly, oh tita, where'd you get that bag? Oh, you like this?
Yeah.
On sale, $18.
Yeah.
You're like, ah! Tita's
And it's
tripping.
always TJ Maxx.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Ernie, what random answer do you have today?
Yeah. What's your favorite dish?
No, my favorite trait is my uncle. We used to live here, Denison. Can I say that? Secret location here. No, he was so cool because we used to smoke cigarettes, and he would give us a cigarette, and he wouldn't tell anyone.
Oh,
The Yossi?
he's truly naughty.
Yeah.
Wait, Tito, you have one? It's like yes.
What was his name?
Tito Alex.
Tito Alex. Shout out to Tito Alex. He probably showed you your first porn too, huh? You want to see some Bombay? Close it out of the...
Stop.
We did at his house,
that
but it wasn't.
again.
It wasn't my cousin. This is his son. He showed us.
All right, now worst Tito traits.
I already did it. It's fat. It's like body. It's like making comments on my body or my daughter's body. Yeah. Screw off.
Yeah, it's
You're
always,
not fuckable.
Yeah, I say. Yeah, they always said that I was.
You got
like,
muscles and you got a good looking face. I feel like you got sexually harassed. I felt like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
pinched your
Oh
dick
yeah, like
once.
grab a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Let me get boo.
Yeah, I was
Take up
skinny.
your shirt. Take up your shirt, Aaron.
Grab a little bit.
I only did this to defend myself now. They still try, I'm like, get away. Please,
Yeah.
please leave me alone. Yeah.
Oh man, go ahead. The worst is when they would ask you, "Oh, where's your girlfriend? Where's your?"
Oh, yeah. I know.
Stop this! And then
It's
when
so-
you gotta go,
Yeah.
your mom's all like, "You can't have a girlfriend. You need to study." It's like, pick one, yo. Pick one.
Leave me
Confusing
alone.
Yeah, the Titas. Yeah, they see you like, oh, you've gained.
Yeah.
You've gained.
You've gained or you've lost.
Yeah, like relax.
Can I say,
Let me
Keith,
live my life, man.
My great aunt, so my grandmother's sisters, when I was like 8, used to make me cry because for hours they would say, "You like Fabio, you like him," and they would show me like the pictures of like Fabio on the romance novels, and it would send me into a complete mental break. I'm like, I hate Fabio, and it was abuse. He's not my type. I like brunettes.
Okay, he's too Viking for
That
me.
was just
All right.
coming back to me. I wanted to share.
Which part of you has officially entered your Tita or Tito era, and you're totally cool with it?
Oh, I was gonna. Yeah. It actually goes back to the thing about guessing the age. I'm doing that to people now, like about me.
Yeah.
Because they thought they were surprised earlier that I was younger because I mentioned about the Jim Carrey movie I grew up on was The Grinch, which is like way late. They're like, what the fuck? How old are you?
Yeah.
I'm still millennial technically. I said I'm on the later end. But yeah, because there's younger kids now that work with me. Kids in their 20s now are born 2005.
And you're just
And then they all, even in comedy, like I started just a few years ago, and they all think I'm like early 20s. So I'm like, oh, yes. Yes.
I can see that.
I
though.
thought that. Yeah, I thought you were like.
Become
22.
Yeah, so that's why
alive.
I like that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm 31 though. So you know.
No, don't leak it, bro.
Oh,
Don't leak
no,
it. Dog.
yeah,
Let him
just
keep
edit
guessing.
21 on there. Yeah.
Coconut oil doing you nice, my friend.
Yeah. Shea butter, actually.
Ooh.
My girl put me
you
on
put on
that.
your balls? Okay, Ernie, go ahead.
What, sorry, what's the question?
Motherfucker. Listen, which
you
part
high?
of you is officially like are you which part of you has officially entered your Tita and Tito era and
The
you're
whole,
okay with it?
the whole part of me. I don't know. What to,
Yeah, you're an uncle. You're such an uncle to
I am
so
an
many.
uncle. Yeah, I have so many like nieces and nephews, and now they're dating and they're going to prom. Like, oh my god, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, don't drink, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I'm
Really?
telling them. Yeah, even like they're like, yeah, because even my niece is like, she's talking about vaping. I'm like, don't vape.
Oh, so you're not the cool
You're
one.
not Uncle
Yeah, cool.
Alan.
I don't want them.
You suck.
I don't want them. I don't want to be. I don't want them smoking. That's the worst.
I'm that uncle now. My trait
you are?
is
Yeah.
I'm the uncle that I bigged up. Like I'll see my little cousins. I'm like, oh, I heard you got in trouble for smoking weed. Well, come here.
Yeah.
Here's an
Oh,
edible.
yeah.
This won't
Oh, so
make
you're
you
the cool one,
smell.
you're the
You know
bad-
what I
yeah.
mean? I'm like, come meet me. Yeah, meet me in the garage.
Yeah.
What you need, bro?
They're
Have
like-
you
they're
ever
like-
tried Molly? No, I'm joking. Hey, come to my office. Close the door. Close the door. But I'm that guy. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Next one. What does being Filipino mean to you now versus when you were younger?
I'm
like
gonna
this
jump in. Oh my God, we're better than everyone else. Ah, no. You know what it means? It means truly like, okay, I'm married to a Mennonite. No offense to his family, but like, not a lot going on there. Like one meat entree. Oh my God, a glass of milk at dinner. What the fuck? Like, when my husband met my family, he's like, "Why are there 5 meat entrees?" I'm like, "Entrees? These are sides, baby." You know what I'm saying? Like, and like being married to somebody that's not Filipino is just like every day I'm so filled with pride, and even the way that my family comes is in my life in the way that they are, and it's all about family. Like yesterday, my parents texted me when they picked up my daughter from school. And they're like, there's no toilet paper in your house. And I was like, LOL, I totally forgot to ask you to bring some. I've been using my socks and my bidet. But I asked them for help. I'm 42. It's like, not to be corny, but family.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, enter violin music. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like for me now, versus because now, like just in the last few years, I think Asian culture in general, like different countries, like you know, like a few years ago, like Korean culture got really big. I feel like Filipino culture is like on the cusp of getting like
Culturally appropriated.
yeah on a big level, and I feel like it's more because it's cooler now. I feel like to be like, oh, you're different. Oh, Asians are cool now. We want to date Asians now. You know, I feel like before, I don't know if it was
Who's
like,
saying that?
Ernie wants to know.
every girl
Are
at
they
the gym.
white?
Every girl at the gym.
I don't know about that. I feel like Filipinos, though, we've always been cool.
Or
Like,
I
we've
mean, like,
always,
on a bigger scale,
When people are
though.
saying we're dating
Yeah.
Asians now, they're dealing the chopstick Asians. Like
Yeah.
Filipinos, man,
I guess
we're
maybe
very
I'm saying
desirable.
it to like the white girl level where it's like transcendently popular. Like it's not quite there yet, but it's like I feel like it's like on the cusp of like getting
Speak
to
for
that
yourself. Speak for yourself. White guys have always wanted to fuck me.
Oh, no, it's different. We all know Asian women.
point. Me too.
memory?
Me too.
Yeah.
Actually.
Asian
Me too.
women are the
Me
most
too.
desired women. And I read that. But for me, my answer is I noticed that when I was younger, especially as a millennial, there was no Filipinos on TV. And
Yeah.
like every Filipino I know, there's one point when you're a Filipino and as a millennial growing up, there's one point where you wanted to be white, and then there's another point you wanted to be black.
Yes.
But now when you're like, oh, why can't I fit in and da da da? To me now, it's like, no, I like being different.
Yes.
I like the fact that we look like these, you know, the whole world in one person, that we these Mexican, Chinese looking motherfuckers, like, you know what I mean? So I like the fact that being Filipino, the best thing about being Filipino is that we can walk into a spot and no one will know who the fuck we are. You know, what we are. Like we can, like best thing about being Filipino is World Cup. I could raise any flag and no one be like, oh, yeah, sure, I believe he's Argentinian. No one gives a shit.
Not
You know what I mean?
Belgium.
Like,
Not Belgium.
We're
They
the
wouldn't
most
believe
mixed
you.
race. We're great. Now on to Ernie.
Thanks for throwing it to me. There's 3 seconds left.
No, don't worry about that.
We're going overtime. We're getting the light.
This is your first interview on TV, eh? This is your first interview in a studio, isn't it?
The
Just
arrow's
fucking
pointing
go,
up
man.
and saying, Ernie,
Just
bring your
fucking
energy
go.
up.
Ernie,
I'm very proud of being Filipino, especially with my Filipino cohorts here, giving me the last word when we're overtime and probably not going to make the show.
No, we got more questions, bro. You're fucking it up. Go. What's the answer? What's your answer?
I just said it.
Okay. All right. Okay. What does it mean, guys, that you're part of the show, Joke Lang? What does it mean to you to be part of this event?
I'm not in it.
I'm not in it.
I think that's for you two. That's for you two.
so-
Wait, no, let us ask that. How does it
Actually,
feel
I
to be on that show?
Can I have a spot?
Yeah.
We can edit this.
Yeah, he said they were changing the hosts.
There's like questions like the one.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna do the Filipino Flash. Here we go. Boom, bam, bam. All right, Jolly Bees or McDonald's?
Jolly Bee.
Jolly Bees.
Jolly Bees.
Chicken, yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, lumpia, barbecue stick.
Lumpia.
Lumpia.
Barbecue stick.
I like
fuck
barbecue
y'all.
stick.
Sinigang or adobo?
Sinigang.
Sinigang.
Every day sinigang.
Rib sinigang.
Tang or Milo?
Milo.
Milo, sorry.
Milo.
Tang.
Yeah, raw
Tang,
dog
tang, tang.
Milo off a spoon, baby. Yes.
Tongue or Milo.
Tito off the grill?
Tito
Tito of the grill or a Tito who sneaks you liquor?
Sound it up, buddy.
Liquor.
Sorry. I'm
Almost
reading too
done.
fast. I'm reading too fast. Tito of the grill. Tito
I
of the
love
grill.
to eat Tito off the grill.
Okay. Yeah, okay. The grill's the best.
Oh, I'm the Tito eating Tito of the table.
Yeah, we can see that. We can see that.
What?
Okay. Go to. Oh wait. Tito with the chismis or Tito with the Tupperware?
Oh,
Chismis.
I'm completely split in half. I like both, but I love to gossip.
I love it when they tell you that.
Yeah.
I love it when they spill you the tea while giving you the Tupperware. Ooh, by the way, did you hear? Whoa, shit, for real? She's pregnant again? You know?
Yeah. My dad always serves that. I'm like, did you hear how she got pregnant? This is
Yeah.
a very, I can't say the joke. It's controversial. I bomb every time.
Okay, cool. Go to karaoke song. We'll keep it moving.
Hotel California.
Oh, karaoke song?
Okay, go to karaoke song.
Anything Celine Dion. If you know me on Instagram, all I do is my whole algorithm is Filipino kids singing Celine Dion, baby. Follow me for more memes about Celine Dion singing children.
Mine's Boys to Man till the end of the road because
Yes.
everybody jumps in on the chorus, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I
True,
mean?
true.
It's kind of like an alley-oop.
Just like me, mine too. Backstreet Boys. I want it that way.
Yeah. Tell me why.
I'm like, tell me why. They're like, yeah, well, yeah, whatever.
Tell me why.
Tell me why.
What song makes you think of high school? Yours is probably anything for the Beatles because you're like, what, 62, right?
We are 1 year apart, sir.
Not with those gray hairs. Okay. Zoom in on that shit.
Yeah.
What is
Put the
that?
hat back on.
What is that? You match the background. Look.
First of all,
you match the
first of
background.
all,
Look, you don't even need it. Look.
this is
You
what
match
the head looks like of a hardworking Canadian entertainer. Okay, when you don't know how much you're gonna get paid. No, yeah, that's I'm bald to the max, guys. All right, my head looks like an elbow. It looks like a kneecap. I get it. All right, song that makes you think of high school.
Vitamin C.
Oh, when we all
As we go on,
Wow.
we remember
You're so
all
cheese.
the times we
Loser.
had together. Tell me why.
I don't know why, but mine's Noriega Super Thug. Right? Because that had the club bumping. And that was the first time no, never mind. Whatever.
That was the best.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Mine's next.
Oh, too close.
Baby, no.
Yeah.
Because it was so naughty, and I went to private Christian school with a big Norm.
Yeah.
And I think he was chasing me around to that
Oh,
song,
hello.
wanting to poke me. No, he was poking my friend.
Ooh,
But
chismis.
No, we all know Big Norm. Shout out to Big Norm. He only likes black girls. What are you talking about?
yeah, definitely the naughty R&B songs. Grr.
Oh, Pony.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the anything from the Wiz Khalifa mixtape, Cushion Orange Juice.
Oh!
That came out when I was like in grade.
That's a hard
I was like
mixtape.
in grade 9 or 10 when that came out, and I was just high as fuck listening to that the whole time.
I was fully on my third
In the
marriage
Cut
when
is
you
my
were that
favorite.
age.
In the Cut is my favorite song.
In the cut, still blazing, you know, all that.
Memorized. Yeah, come on, bro.
That was my
yeah,
third
that was the
divorce,
best
but
answer.
wow.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Do you guys eat balut?
I
not.
wasn't sure what you were gonna ask.
Do you eat ass as well?
Yes.
Yes, it's been a long time when we used to be young and happier. First marriage. I have never.
What?
Should I do it one day on stage? Like I heard that you did that before.
You just need salt. Honestly, I'll do it just to fuck with my white friends. Like when my white friends come over, my non-Filipino friends come over, and then like there's some balut. And they're like,
For those that don't know what it is, like Hannah, can you explain?
it's a duck embryo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
sorry.
duck. It's like
She's
it's like
from
half-
Scarborough. I forgot.
Have you had it?
No, it's gross.
You never
I
had
actually
it?
never had
I've
it.
seen it.
Yeah, I've looked at it.
It's like smiling.
Really? You guys never
I never had it. No.
There's a little like soup, a sabao in the top.
Do you
so
like
gotta,
it?
You gotta slurp
Like-
it. It's not that I like it. If it's there and people are eating it and it's part of the occasion, yeah, I'll indulge. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, put that a double way.
Yeah.
Smell some balut.
That's how I feel about Fireball. Like if it's there, I'll shoot it.
Yeah, why not?
What is the who is the most iconic Filipino celebrity of all time?
Oh, I don't know. To me, Manny Pacquiao.
Imelda Marcos, come on with the shoes.
What?
Imelda Marcos for sure.
Yeah.
Just because like growing up, she was just always being talked about and this fabulous, and I didn't know whether she was evil or fabulous, and I still don't. And yeah, definitely Imelda Marcos of like this evil queen's on the cover of Time. Like that's huge.
I feel like for Philippines, the Coco Martin is the man right now. But I like Manny Pacquiao.
Of course.
Right? Only because we all got together and watched this full-bred Filipino just knock out Latinos, white people,
Yeah.
black people. We're like,
And hang out with Will Ferrell, like very cool guy.
yeah.
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 Is that your answer?
No.
Go.
No. I don't know if it's a real answer, but Vanessa Hudgens. You know?
Yes, it is a real answer.
Because of the, when the
Yeah,
when the
high
nudes
school.
leaked, that was crazy. When I was like in.
Is that your first nude?
I was like 14 or something, 13. That was huge. That was like the biggest thing. That was some.
I've never seen
That was the
them.
first time like when that happened to something in my gen. Like, whoa, the High School Musical. I don't know if can we even talk about this. Whatever. It was big. It was
Yeah,
big. Don't act
no,
like it
I
didn't
heard
happen.
about it.
That shit happened.
And it was to Zac
can look it up.
Efron,
Does
She
right?
claim
You can
as
still
a
find it.
Filipino or no?
I don't know. My dad would always say. I don't
Does she
know.
what?
Weirdly, my dad knows everyone that's
I
like,
don't-
they're
yeah.
part Filipino.
Yeah,
like she
no,
knows.
yeah.
Vanessa
Yeah.
claims it, but who doesn't? I guess Shay Mitchell doesn't.
Yeah. No, it's weird.
She says she's Spanish, which okay, fine, but
I just remember on the PSP, everyone, look at this. Look at what.
you can
Back
look
on
at nudes on a
PSP.
PSP. You're teaching me
Yeah,
shit,
this
kid.
is like 2005, 2006. That was like the first porn like online that I was aware of. Like you had to like look with the cursor and you type in with the little keyboard with the buttons. You type,
So did you masturbate to the picture? Or?
Well, yeah.
Nice.
That's why we were
That's
late.
why it's a big deal. That's why it's a big.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice. All right.
I love High
well,
School Musical.
I have last question, guys. I'm
Okay.
going to throw this one in. What is something you would like to see happen within our Filipino community? Ooh, I know, right?
Yeah.
Now I got a real question.
That's not even on the thing.
Yeah.
I know, you fuck. I just said that.
I mean, you just can't get more representation. And to the point that you guys were talking about earlier, my daughter is half, so love it. But also, like, can we have some Filipino celebrities in the Philippines that aren't half Swiss? Like, they're all half Swiss or half Australian. And, what a lot of these folks do is they leave the country, they fall in love with who they fall in love with, and then when they realize that they're fair-skinned and young and look like that, then they move them back and they're automatic celebrities. In fact, I'm moving Ziggy back just next month. Yeah, I want her to be famous, but I do think like more representation in a more diverse way, and that how diverse we are. Like my
Nice.
mother looks Chinese, my dad looks Spanish.
Perfect.
But that's like, it's not like we all look the same, but I definitely want more representation.
No, that's dope. Okay,
I think more. Well, I think there's a lot of emerging, like there are like. Yeah, I just started comedy in the last few years, but I think just even I'm loving that there's so much like Scarborough's a joke, just more like Filipino representation in like comedy, you know, because like
Yeah.
you guys are like, you know, my OGs now, and it's like, you
Yeah,
know,
no, we don't need a lot.
You're
We don't
mine,
need no more
Ernie.
Filipinos.
they
I'm fine
call
with
them
just
unks. They call it. I'm considered an unk now too.
I'm sorry.
More Filipino shows
No,
that I can
nice,
go on,
yeah.
that I could be put on.
Yeah, there's a lot of
please.
Filipino comedy festivals now that are starting up. That's great, man. What about you, Ernie?
Yeah, I just want more Filipino work. You know. You know, I want to see like more. You know, because I see like what's it called, the casting things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like,
Yeah.
I've never casted as a Filipino in
Yeah.
auditions. I'm always
Oh,
a
you
Latino.
meant like in like
I
acting
want to
roles.
see like
I feel like
more
there's
like
more.
Filipino comedians. Taba.
Dude from Spider-Man. He's killing it.
Yeah.
For me,
yeah.
my answer is I think there shouldn't be this divide of like Filipinos born here in the Philippines. You ever notice that like all of a sudden, because I can't speak Tagalog or they find out I'm not born there, all of a sudden now there's like this, you know, you ever meet someone that's from the Philippines and then they find out like, oh, you don't speak Tagalog? Oh, and then now there's this big beef.
Always.
Like, well, I didn't get to choose where I was born, bro. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man, let's just stick together. And I think that's the way we're gonna end this show. Guys, unlike my friend to my right, I was PR trained, but thank you guys for having us. My name is Keith Pedro. This is Ernie Vicente. We got Carolina and Aaron.
Edit out the
Thanks,
drunk
guys.
stuff. Okay, bye.
Scarborough's a joke. June 21st. Don't fuck around. Woo. Be there. Buy your tickets. Don't be late.
Have a little